Welcome to my home. My name is Hannah Rose, and this is Baby Soul. We are going to be doing a video about my experience getting my breastfed baby to take a bottle. Yeah, with my first baby, he did get the bottle a little bit at the beginning because of tongue and lip tie, but we didn't stay consistent with it. So the time I wanted to try a bottle again, he was definitely not interested. And I was a stay-at-home mom with him, so it was really mostly just me needing a break for my mental health. I knew that with my second baby, I wanted to do it differently. I knew I wanted him to be able to breastfeed and take the bottle. You're watching this video because your baby is refusing the bottle. I would still watch this video. I still have some great tips for people. And I will go into that situation specifically a little bit more at the end, but there's still some things along the way that I think would be really helpful. Number one would be have a plan before the baby's even born. Are you going back to work? Do you want baby to take a bottle? You know, who's going to be giving the baby the bottle? What's the education that you're going to need to be able to do that, and the support system that you might need? Number two is definitely having your partner on board. It's a lot to try to do on your own, but it can be done for sure. But it's nice to have a partner that is going to be, if you're talking about it beforehand and they're willing and on board to help. Sometimes that might mean that they are willing to help pay for extra support, like if you need a lactation consultant. Or they are willing to to hold the baby and play with the baby while you're pumping, things of that nature. So that's number two. And number three, I would say, is hire a private practice lactation consultant. I did that with both of my babies, and I know not everybody has that privilege, but it is money well spent, I can tell you. And the tricky thing with this one is not every IBCLC or lactation consultant is created equally. I would also try to get referrals, ask birth workers, ask people, midwives or doulas, send them emails. Who is your best recommendation for a lactation consultant, private practice lactation consultant in your area? It's pretty crucial to get a good one. And then also there's lactation counselors, which that's what I am, or lactation educators. We can give support and education around breastfeeding, lactation. When you're introducing the bottle, they can help with that. Number four is when you're thinking about starting, ideally you want to start around 4 weeks. And some babies might be getting a bottle earlier than that because of situations, medical need to supplement or things like that earlier, and that's fine too. But if you don't need to, it's better to just get breastfeeding really well established for those first 3 to 4 weeks, and then go ahead and start introducing the bottle. Number five, I would say, is the type of bottle and the nipple of the bottle. There's different flows of nipple. Some are faster than others. Some are slower than others. In general, you want it to mimic the breast as best as possible. So this is a really popular bottle, Lansinoh. It has the wide opening here, and this is a slow flow nipple. In general, you want slow flow because the breast milk is generally going to be a slower flow. Now, if you have like a really crazy strong and really just an abundance of milk, you might, and you're feeling like your baby's actually getting frustrated with the slowness of the nipple, you can experiment with going with a 1, even a 2, but you want to start slow and see how that goes, because if it's too fast, the baby can then get frustrated at the breast, possibly. But that is a big thing that people have talked about for a long time. So also this brand is really good because this plastic is really squishy, like the breast is. The slope is natural. Like this is Dr. Brown's. First of all, this is the narrower versus wide. So look at how much of a difference that is. This baby's mouth, they have to open a lot wider, just like they would at the breast. It doesn't look like a breast does. It's totally different. So there's definitely other brands that are going to look similar to this. So this is not the only brand. And Dr. Brown's actually has a wide bottle option that you can get as well if you like their ventilation system, so they're not getting as much air. This also has a built-in air ventilation here. So I've been using this for my baby, my second baby, and it's been amazing. He loves it. So I definitely recommend people trying this. If you're trying a bunch of bottles and you're desperate, definitely go with this type or even this specific bottle. So once you have your bottle situation figured out, number 6 for me is paced bottle feeding. There's actually there's some videos here on YouTube about it, and there's a really good one called Intuitive Bottle Feeding that I love, and it's really, you're trying to mimic the breastfeeding when you're giving a bottle. And part of this whole idea is it's like you want to, if you actually put a time on it, it'd be 5 minutes per ounce of milk. So if you're giving a 4-ounce bottle, that would take 20 minutes. And that's about how long it takes when you're breastfeeding. So, and it's trial and error, and I'm not the one that gives the bottle to my baby because I'm at work. My husband does it. Even with the slow flow nipple, my baby Soul, he will drink it really fast if he can. So my husband does try to slow him down, take some time. Essentially, you want to give baby control. Like we've all been taught, the old school way is like you just see the baby in the crook of the arm, and you've got the bottle just going like upside down essentially. And with paced bottle feeding, it's way more, the back of their head is going to be free. They can be kind of like laying not on their back, on their side, and then the bottle is going to be more parallel to the floor with and the whole nipple doesn't even have to be full. It's kind of like this, and you're just going really slow and following baby's cues. So just like you would with breastfeeding. So that is a really big thing as well. This is baby Soul as a newborn, which is why he's using the smaller bottle. But this is paced bottle feeding, and you can see, look at how he has that whole nipple inside his mouth. His lips are flanged outwards. They're not tucked in. And he's just taking his time. You want the nipple pointed up into the roof of the mouth. I would say number 7 is consistency. That's one thing that we didn't do before, and you want to be doing the practice bottles from 4 weeks when you introduce it. The recommendation is to do 1 bottle a day, and what I would say about that is, first of all, you can start small. Start with a smaller amount of milk. I wouldn't pump and then try to give them a 4-ounce bottle the first time, because what if they don't like it? What if they reject the bottle, and then you're wasting this milk? So you can start with a smaller amount, like an ounce or whatever, and build your way up over time. My opinion about the practice bottles is, if you were to hypothetically do 1 bottle a day for a period of time, say like 2 or 3 weeks, and this is kind of what I did, and then after that, I personally don't think that they need it every day. I feel like 2 or 3 times a week. Personally, I actually only did it once a week, and he was fine. But I wouldn't want to throw away all the hard work that you've done, so be careful with that. But you need to continue to give them the practice bottles so that it stays fresh in their mind. Another place I had a really hard time with the practice bottles was, okay, how do I pump when I'm exclusively breastfeeding and this baby is just always on the boob? If you can have some kind of routine, one suggestion that I've heard is, definitely in the morning, we have the most abundant milk between like 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. So if you were to breastfeed and then try to pump for 5 minutes afterwards. And I know some people are like, well, there's no more milk left. And that's what I would feel like too. But if you continue to do that, your body will start making more milk. So you need to just don't give up. Your body will then be notified, hey, I need to make a little bit of extra milk after this feeding, because it's a supply and demand. So keep working with it. Something that I did was I used the Haakaa at nighttime. I would breastfeed on one breast and I'd have the Haakaa on the other one. And I was able to get like an extra ounce of milk that way. And so that is partially what I would give my baby in the practice bottles. So you don't have to pump. You could do hand expression or the Haakaa. The Haakaa is just it's so cheap, and it works by suction. So if you buy it, you also might want to watch a little video about how to use it. So those are my biggest things that I did differently. I was able to successfully get my breastfed baby on a bottle so I could go to work, and he has been doing great and he loves it. He's 9 months now, and it's amazing to have that freedom, going from a baby that I was the only one that could feed him, I was the only one that could put him to sleep. That was really intense and exhausting for me. So I personally love having more flexibility and more freedom. And so I just hope that you have found some information in this video that can help you on your journey. I hope to see you all again, and I would love to share my motherhood journey, wellness, art, and my music with you all.